Rudy Giuliani, a personal attorney for President Trump, recently returned from an evidence-gathering trip to Kiev, Vienna, and Budapest. He was accompanied by a crew from OAN News led by Chanel Rion. Lindsey Graham, who chairs the Senate Judiciary Committee, has invited Giuliani to testify before his committee about his discoveries. However, Graham added he would only take up the attorney's testimony after the impeachment trial ends. The former New York City mayor has not indicated whether or not he will accept. OANN reports, Giuliani has been leading efforts to uncover information about the Biden family's ties to Ukraine and corruption. He visited the White House on Friday, where he was seen leaving the West Wing. The administration has yet to comment on the reason behind the visit, but President Trump has asked the attorney to brief GOP senators and the DOJ on his findings from last week's trip. Since his return, Giuliani has been busy preparing a report on Joe and Hunter Biden's corruption in Ukraine for Attorney General William Barr, the results of information he has garnered through hours of research. And on Sunday, through a series of tweets included below, he revealed some of what he has learned, writing that this only scratches the surface. Giuliani alleges that the corruption in Ukraine in 2016 was so extensive that it was President Trump's duty to request an investigation. He writes, "I have garnered witnesses and documents which reveal the truth behind this impeachment, which includes no wrongdoing by President Donald Trump." In an interview with Ryan, he discusses former Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin, who was fired by then Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko. Giuliani said, phone calls from the vice president to Poroshenko, from Poroshenko to Shokin, Poroshenko showing up in Shokin's office and saying, "Biden's putting pressure on me. You can't go forward with Burisma. Can you slow it down?" And, all of the sudden, Shokin gets this communiqué from Latvia that shows a $16 million dollar laundering transaction. Classic laundering transaction. Goes from Ukraine to Latvia, it's disguised as a loan to another company, Wire Logic I believe. It then goes to Cyprus, gets disguised as another loan, this is called Digitech. Then it's disbursed as payment of board fees. Now, you don't make two loans to pay board fees unless you're laundering the money. $3 million gets to Hunter Biden that way. That is a straight-out violation of a money laundering statute. Ryan shows a letter from February 2016 from the Prosecutor's Office of the Republic of Latvia, Office for Prevention of Laundering of Proceeds Derived from Criminal Activity. A highlighted section reads, according to publicly available information, Burisma Holdings Limited and its director Hunter Biden are involved in a corruption affair. Ryan reads another part of the letter. Latvia traced $14.7 million. The funds were transferred back to the accounts of Devon Archer and Hunter Biden. The video goes to a clip of Ryan, Giuliani, and Shokin. Ryan asked Shokin if he recognized the document. He said yes. He said there were more such inquiries that made it impossible for him to justify shutting down the Burisma investigation. OAN also verified on camera what Shokin had stated in a stunning 12-page sworn affidavit to an Austrian court. President Poroshenko asked me to resign due to pressure from the U.S. presidential administration, in particular from Joe Biden, who was the U.S. Vice President Biden was threatening to withhold $1 billion in U.S. subsidies from Ukraine until I was removed from office. I was forced out because I was leading a wide-ranging corruption probe into Burisma. Joe Biden's son was on the board of directors. I refused to close this investigation. Therefore, I was forced to leave under direct and intense pressure from Joe Biden and the U.S. administration. In a second video, Giuliani tells Ryan and others on an OANN panel, this is bribery at the highest level of government. This is the Vice President of the United States bribing the President of another country to force the President to do what he doesn't want to do. And now Joe will tell us, oh, it wasn't corrupt because I didn't know about my son. I have 10 ways to prove to you that he knew. Giuliani allegedly has medical records that Shokin was poisoned twice and that former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine Marie Yovanovitch perjured herself in her testimony before the House impeachment inquiry. He also claims to have documents proving Yovanovitch denied visas to witnesses who could prove Biden and Democratic corruption. If true, not only would it mean the end for Biden's candidacy, but he and his son, Hunter Biden, could be facing serious legal problems.